So, warm welcome to all of you, and thank you very, very much to Kanakji, Bhaveshji, MFRT, and all of you for giving us the opportunity to come here and speak to you. I think Kanakji and the team here has selected a very tricky topic, because एक topic में actually तीन topic है, which is that because when I analyzed it, I was given to understand its mutual fund industry and the outlook for IFAs and the role of AMCs. The simple point is that, before I get into talking too much about it, how many of you think that the outlook is bleak? Can you raise your hands? Sorry? See, actually जब कोई response नहीं करे ना, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि outlook positive है. Response नहीं करना is not a very positive sign. But I'll tell you in one sentence or one word or one picture what I think is the outlook, and that is somewhere here. And unfortunately, my computer did not have a red rose, or else I would have put a red rose. But whatever rose I have, I only want to tell you that the outlook is rosy. And this is what I wanted to present to all of you. So please accept this from me. This is also what I wanted to say about the outlook. The reason being two or three things. The first and most important thing is that when everybody is absolutely low on conviction, when anybody and everybody will tell you कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, बाजार बहुत खराब है, I think that is when you are bound to make maximum money. That is what my limited experience is. Second important thing is a very cliched proverb which says that the darkest point in the night is the dawn, right? So I think a lot of reasons to believe that the outlook is extremely rosy. And a lot of times what I feel is that, when you say that outlook for the mutual fund industry and outlook for IFAs, somewhere it gave me a sense that we are a little bit lacking on confidence, and that is why we are looking for an outlook. The simple point is that I think the outlook is extremely rosy, and that is what I will try to enumerate from here on. See, let's look at the mutual fund industry outlook first. I think in the last 2 or 3 years, the mutual fund industry outlook has been confused very many times with a couple of things which are absolutely unrelated to each other. We have got very, very carried away in terms of what has happened on regulation, whereas actually speaking, the regulation had nothing to do with the stock market behavior. I think what has impacted the industry more than the regulation is the stock market behavior, because recently we had a conference where I explained this very simple point. Maximum amount of money came into our industry in the year 2007, and anybody and everybody who had put 100 rupees in 2007, in a matter of 15 to 18 months, the 100 rupees became 50. And then absolute magic happened, because then the 50 again became 100 in the next 15 to 18 months. And you should not be surprised, if you take 100 rupees from the investor, for 15 to 18 months you keep it below water at 40, 50 and 60, and then you bring it back to 100, you are bound to lose that money. And I always give this very simple example that, if you want to go to a building, let us say you have a meeting on the 20th floor of a particular building. If you want to go to the 20th floor, obviously you will go in an escalator, in an elevator. Just imagine, you got into the elevator has started, you reach the second floor, suddenly the power gets cut, and for the next 20 minutes there is no power, there is no electricity, and there is no light. How many of you have ever got stuck in an elevator can actually relate to what I'm saying? After 20 minutes, if the power comes back, for those 20 minutes you think your life is going to end, for those 20 minutes you think the world is coming to end, you are going to suffocate, your knees are weak, and you think you are going to die. After 20 minutes, when the power comes back, how many of you will keep standing there thinking that I'm going to go to the 20th floor, and how many of you will walk out of the elevator the moment the door opens? What do you think? I think there will be a few courageous people who will right now say that, हाँ मैं वहीं खड़े रहूँगा, 20वीं मंजिल पे जाऊँगा, क्या बात है? But I think most of you will walk out, and it has got nothing to do with regulation and stock market and mutual fund. This is normal human psychology. अगर आप किसी के 100 रुपए का 50 कर दोगे और फिर उसको फिर से 100 वापस दे दोगे, तो obviously the person will walk out with the 100. So I think mutual fund industry outlook, whether we like it or not, significantly depends on the way the capital market behaves. And if you want to ensure that it is not stuck with the way capital market behaves, then you should not be stuck with only equity in your mind. You should do a lot of fixed income. I think that is something critical. I'm not here to sell products, so I will not talk too much about that. The second thing on which the industry outlook hinges is what value we deliver to investors. And I think this is where we have come out with flying colors in the last 3 years. I think the performance of the industry in terms of value which we have delivered to investors has been mind-blowing. The reason is because 3 years back, see, generally speaking, what do we tell our investors? We are straightforward people. What do we tell investors? We tell them that instead of putting money, equity is the asset class which you need to be in. Instead of putting money into equity directly, put it through equity mutual funds. And when you put it into equity mutual funds, please put SIPs. This is the only thing which we communicated in the last 3 years, right? If your investor had not put money into SIPs and if your investor had not put money into equity mutual funds, where would he have put money? In 2007, which were the running items where your investors would have put money? I am sure you all understand what I mean by running items. And whether we like it or not, none of those running items are running anymore. So I think from that perspective, investors' experience of investing in equity, in SIPs, in mutual funds has been far better. In the last 3 years, I think the equity market has done nothing, but I think there are a lot of on improving service capabilities. I'm sure everybody knows about variety of technology and operational platforms, etc., which are coming. I know that there are some sessions here as well. So service and advisory capability. The next point is on being investor friendly and distributor friendly. In fact, in the recent past, just 2 days back, I had a meeting with one of my IFA friends in Bombay. I think he is here as well. And he made a very important point. He may not know what I actually picked up from that, but he made a very important point that there are few AMCs who believe in being very investor friendly. And I'm not saying for the sake of saying, but my friend, one of the IFAs, he actually told me that there are few AMCs who are seen as investor friendly, but ICICI is seen to be as distributor friendly. So I started introspecting in my mind because my boss became very uncomfortable that how is it that I'm distributor friendly but not investor friendly. The point I'm trying to make here is, can you be investor friendly without being distributor friendly? I don't think it is possible. The reason why it is not possible is because this business is not about showing your performance and your brand to the investor and ensuring that he buys your product. This business is about ensuring that your advisor knows exactly what your product is going to do and he gives the right advice to the investor. If you compare this with the way pharma as an industry operates, you don't expect that, you are making medicines for cancer. You don't expect that you will put up big hoardings and everybody will come and buy those medicines. Ultimately, you need to tell the doctor what drug you are putting and how is it going to help the patient. So I think that is something very critical. The last point, obviously, AMCs need to work hard towards supporting earnings for financial advisors. This is where innovation is very, very critical. I will just give one example. I think in the last 3-4 months, there are quite a few AMCs who have consistently been doing these hybrid funds. I think that is something which as an industry we've done a brilliant job. The reason why I'm highlighting that is because it happens once in 5 years that short-term rates are at the highest point and equity valuations are somewhere at the bottom. So it gives fantastic delivery to customers and at the same time it gives fantastic margin to our advisors. So I think that's a brilliant trend. I think we need to do more of these kind of things so that we can deliver fantastic value to investors and at the same time protect margins for advisors. So these are few ideas I wanted to share with you. Needless to say, our tarakki definitely depends on your tarakki. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Lastly, I would like to leave you with one thought. Let's not get too confused about what is the outlook and what is the future. I think day on day, every day, if we do our job a bit better than what we did yesterday, we'll anyway sail through. So I firmly believe that, attitude will determine your altitude. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.